really just comes down to one simple thing. The shops are shut down, and I can't change the oil, and that's what this car needs. I could immediately hear that something was off and the oil's dirty, nowhere to change oil. So I'm going to do something that I rarely recommend. I have some very popular videos about fuel additives, but trust me, it's rare. I'm D.E. Nichols. I mostly fix cars, sometimes upgrades, sometimes motorcycles. Yeah, sure, I guess. Yeah, we'll do it. Maybe you can help this old oil out, since I'm not allowed to change oil right now. And today I'm going to add something, but this is not my norm. I don't like adding stuff, but a lot of people have said it helps, and I can't change my oil. Also, I'm adding this just to make me feel better. I know it works, but I don't think I need it. But I put the last bit in. I already put another half of it in before the last oil change. But what the hey? I put a quarter in just before I was shooting. I also did it because although I had originally cleaned out a soda bottle so I could see what was in this thing, I figure anything that's ever had sugar in it, no matter how much I've washed it out, is way more scary than something that was at least belongs in the engine. Alright, so we're just going to use this so we can see what this looks like. Shaky camera, shaky camera. I don't know if it's because they shipped it to me overseas, but that was a disaster of destroying this until you get the plastic bits out from underneath these squeezy bits so that it's allowed to screw off. Underneath that, it's sealed again. Okay, that is definitely shipping approved. But I scratched up my knife and I scratched up my ornament for behind me when I'm shooting in the room. Okay, now that I've liberated a few ounces from this, because I read online that if you're just using it as a regular thing, not as a last ditch, oh my gosh, to only put in a certain percent in, I believe it's 5%, and I did the math, and that's 3 ounces of a normal 4-cylinder engine's got about 4 quarts in it. And this being a 6-ounce bottle and half a bottle, I got myself 3 ounces. So it's a good thing I didn't ruin my nice IBC root beer bottle. And we're going to put most of this in here, but understand I mixed the heck out of this. Okay, mixed, mixed, mixed. Shake, shake, shake. And then I put in here. And after that point, who cares if I've mixed it. Now, I just saw some of this regular water goo, because we're in wet, wet Germany, fall down into the engine, which is less than exciting. It's one of the many reasons why you want to change your oil regularly. But nothing I can do about that. That's happening whether I notice it or not. In it goes. See that real close in there? It's got some shiny bits in it. It's supposed to help with compression. Now understand, if you have a lost cause, you want to put more in, but don't put the 8-cylinder formula in. That's assuming you got like 8 quarts oil or more. So we're going to see if this helps against situations where you can't change your oil. Yeah, that's not normal. It's only normal lately. So a random thing along the way, I open this about once a month and clean it off. It's not really something I meant to get in the habit of, but I am doing it. Keep some of that sludge out of the engine. I mean, engines make sludge all the time, but when you get to see it, that's when it gets to bother you. Yay. Making a mess. This being a very worn out car, I probably should have just went full tilt with it, but I couldn't take any oil out, and having your oil overfill is bad too. So it's all about compromises when you're dealing with a difficult situation. Everywhere power wasn't smooth, power is smooth now. And all I did was put 3 ounces of engine restore in the car. I know come out with regain can't do that much that fast. It cannot. It's holy crap. I've got a lot of views on Lucas, a lot of views, and it has its place, but all the power and all of the RPMs where it wasn't smooth, where it kind of would cramped down at 40 kilometers an hour, you know, kind of that middle zone where you could be in a lower gear, but we're in a higher gear because we're not driving aggressively. It all just smoothed out. I can't believe we're 3 ounces different in my car. Can't believe it. And having recorded freeway speeds before, I think you can hear the difference that everything's a lot quieter at freeway speeds, and this is at low and going up a big hill too, so we're definitely in good shape here. 2 hands on the steering wheel. Oh my gosh, this car sounds so good. You're not gonna believe this. I at least hit it with the screenshot, but the horsepower I get now on the freeway, oh wow. Granted, there's been a few repairs, not just the Restore, but I was able to do about 20 horsepower when speed up at freeway speeds, you know, because there's not much power left, because most of the power is going to keeping the car going, right? But I just went from like 80 to 100 kilometers an hour in third gear, and it like pushed me back, you know, not like a Ferrari, of course, but it still had like, oh my gosh, 53 horsepower. I'll put up the screenshot. Like 53 horsepower when it could clear 22 before. Oh, it didn't feel that much better with new spark plugs. I didn't bother to check the horsepower, but with Restore, oh man, I can't wait to check, to get back, grab my thermal thermometer, you know, touchless thermometer, shoot it, and see what kind of temperatures I'm getting on these injectors. Because the injectors, I ordered new injectors, right? Lacking tools, lacking diagnostic stuff. I went ahead and got the new injectors, figuring that's why. But, you know, it might have just been a compression issue, since Restore does help even out the compression. I've seen many YouTube videos. But if the temperatures are still off, clearly this thing still needs injectors. But the temperatures can be different from injector to injector because of other reasons, not the injectors themselves. So you should really rule out all things first. And I had to make a few assumptions. You know, I've been right on everything I've gotten so far. So I may just still need those injectors. I mean, 223,000 kilometers on injectors is a long time. But with compression evened out, wow, oh my gosh. They're gonna work on something. I'm sure I'll have a follow-up video on this, up on but underneath my chin, focused on driving, so I'm not pointing. Poking me in the eye and subscribe. On the top right is my most related video, the competitor that lost, Lucas. And on the bottom right will be the video that YouTube thinks you should watch on my channel the most. Remember,